The history of the HOKKA brand begins in 2009 when Nicolas Mermoud and Jean-Luc Diard, former employees of Salomon, decided to develop a model that would aid in downhill running. They set out to create sneakers with large soles to provide even better cushioning. Starting with trail running shoes, HOKKA quickly applied its promising technologies to road running shoes, one of which I will review today. This is the Hoka Clifton 9. It is the result of years of experience, combining impeccable design and advanced innovations. But before we move on to the review itself, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, or if you're new here. Hoka Clifton 9 is not a new model. It hit the market about 15 months ago, and there are already many different reviews on it, but I didn't get these sneakers for free, so I bought them as soon as there was a good discount. By the way, a big plus is that you can always find their models at a very favorable price. Since my review won't have anything new and you might have watched many different videos, I decided to focus on something different. I decided to focus on my own feelings, and I have a lot to say since I have done all possible types of training in them, and also focus on comparing them with the 8 Cliftons, in which I have run almost 800 kilometers. The sneakers have become lighter, 246 grams. The weight of the previous version was 252 grams. The drop remained unchanged, 5 millimeters. But what has really changed is the cushioning. The 8 Cliftons were very stiff. The cushioning in the 9th version has become a bit more balanced. Of course, there will be no softness here. There are other models for that. But in my opinion, running has become better. Let's now go over the entire sneaker and compare it. The perforations on the front part, as well as on the sides, have become a bit less. But they are covered with an additional layer of some special fabric, and this should keep your feet dry for a bit longer in bad weather. Something very similar is on the new Nike Invincible 3, but I heard bad reviews about this fabric on Nike. Especially when running in the heat, the foot can sweat a lot. Here, I don't know how it will be, since I started running in them only in October. But if you had a chance to test this in summer, be sure to write about it in the comments. The laces remain unchanged. Honestly, I don't know why everyone pays so much attention to them. In my opinion, if you tie the sneaker correctly, threading the laces inside, nothing will ever untie. The tongue has undergone slight changes. I don't know how it turned out, but in my opinion, this is the best tongue I have ever seen. Very soft, very high quality. It fits perfectly on your foot. There is such an element at the back. I still don't know what it's called, but it has hardly changed. With its help, it's very convenient to put on the sneaker even without a shoehorn. The only change here is that it is now fully covered with a reflective element. The entire sneaker is designed in such a way that your foot will be well fixed inside. I'll give you an example. Many of you know about my heel injury. And during my first training session in the 9th Cliftons, I jumped very badly onto the curb. My foot immediately started to twist, which could lead to big problems. But the sneaker managed to hold my foot and handled its task 100%. The midsole has become a bit softer. Accordingly, the cushioning is now not so stiff. The midsole also has another change. It's more cosmetic, but I really like it. The 8 Cliftons had incomprehensible notches on it, and mud constantly got into these notches. I really don't like dirty shoes, so I constantly had to wash them out of there. Now let's move on to the soles. It's the same as in the 8 Cliftons. And since I could run in them calmly even on strong ice and wet pavement, I'm sure everything will be fine here too. But this sole has one big minus. Since the tread on it is not solid but arranged in sections, mud will constantly get stuck between these sections. Well, friends, I think we have figured that out. Now let's move on to my impressions. For light running, for cross-training, For long training sessions, Hoka Clifton 9 will be an ideal option. By the way, I ran one long run in them even a bit faster, at a pace of about 4 minutes and 20 seconds per kilometer, and everything was fine. I didn't feel any heaviness on my feet. I ran intervals of 150 meters in them just yesterday. And although, of course, they are not intended for this, at a pace of 2 minutes and 50 seconds per kilometer, in my opinion, they handle their task even better than the same 8 Cliftons. I ran these intervals on an indoor track where the circle is actually 150 meters, so there were constantly a lot of turns. And on these turns, I felt stability. These sneakers will also be great for strength training, but for specialized running exercises, jumping exercises, where landing will occur on the forefoot, like in the 8 Cliftons, I felt some discomfort. I don't know what it's connected with. So, to sum up, I am very satisfied with these sneakers. I would give them a score of about 8 to 9 out of 10. Considering that they are starting to appear in outlet stores for an average price of $100, I can safely recommend Hoka Clifton 9. But be very careful when choosing a store, as there are many fakes. Or watch the video on how to distinguish a fake from the original. Well, friends, that's all I have. If you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments. Thank you all very much for watching. See you next time.